Good afternoon, everybody. Can you hear me? Can you see me? You can write in the chat. Hello, I'm sorry we had a technical problem. My computer said it's too hot. I'm not gonna work. Hello and welcome. Where are you from? Write in the chat the city and the country and the planet you're from. Floripa, São Paulo, Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, Catanduva. Right, welcome everybody. Florianópolis, Porto Alegre, my hometown. Curitiba, Belo Horizonte. Okay, welcome everybody. The name of this webinar is Using Drama Activities to Bridge the Gap Between the Class and the Real Life. Are you excited? Since I can't hear you, you have to write in the chat. Yeah! Let me see, I have to feel your energy in the chat. All right. Not many people say, yeah, I'm excited. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to start with the definition of drama. What is drama? This is the time where you can participate. But because we started a little late, let me show you what my friend Susan Holden said in her book, Drama in Language Teaching. According to Susan Holden, drama is any activity which asks the participant to portray himself in an imaginary situation or to portray another person in an imaginary situation. Drama is concerned with the world of let's pretend. What does that mean? Drama. So when you do drama, you imagine you are in a different situation, or you imagine you are another person in a different situation, right? This is drama. Susan Holden goes on. In real life, people misunderstand each other, interrupt, and get distracted by other people or by the things they say and hear. They react and communicate not only through words, but also through facial expressions, gestures, and nonverbal sounds. So this is what happens in real life. You are talking, another person interrupts you, and you have to go back to what you were saying. Sometimes you don't remember. Sometimes you forget the subject of the sentence, so you have to start all over again. This happens in real communication. People move, make facial expressions, right? So according to Susan Holden, the aim of drama in the classroom is to have students communicate totally, using and recognizing a range of facial expressions, gestures, and movements, as well as words. This way, they will gain confidence, which will help them when they have to interact in English outside the classroom, right? We want to teach our students to communicate, right? What is communication in the target language? We want to teach our students to talk. Communication means the words, right? But it also means the body language. It also means eye contact when you look at the person. Or if you don't look, you are also communicating something. Intonation and facial expression. Everything is part of communication. Many times in our classes, students speak like robots, especially when they are reading the exercise in the book. Hello, my name is Carlos. What's your name? They don't speak like people speak in real life. Imagine you're doing an exercise like this, okay? And students have to complete the conversation with the verb to be. Very basic exercise. Then they write the answers in the book. You give them some time. I'm not going to do this because I'm assuming you know the answers. And then you're going to check the answers. So you say, Claudia, read the first sentence. And Claudia will go, I love this new Bruno Mars album. He's my favorite singer. Very good, Claudia. Now, André. And André goes, yeah, I'm a big fan. They speak like robots. People don't talk like this. And they emphasize the verb because they want the teacher to know if they got the right answer, right? But when they close the book, say, okay, now close the book. Let's talk about your favorite singer. And then they say, my favorite singer, Adele. She's very talented. His voice are fantastic. Oh my God! They haven't learned anything. When they are reading the book, they read all the verbs correctly, but they speak like robots. When they speak fluently, they forget the grammar. What can we do to bring the book to real life? to make people speak correctly using the grammar they learn in the book, but in like people do in real life. And then you have to teach the students to speak like when you say, I love this new Bruno Mars album, how do you say? I love this new Bruno Mars album. He's my favorite singer. The other person, yeah, I'm a big fan of this too, because that's how people speak in real life. Or sometimes you can be ironic. You can say, oh, I love this Bruno Mars album. Oh my God. So even you say the same sentence, but you change the intonation and the facial expression, you're communicating something different, right? And I'm going to tell you my secret to bring the book to real life. You want to know my secret? I don't have a secret. What I'm going to do, I'm going to show you lots of different strategies that you can use, and they will help your students, right? Do you think intonation is important when you speak? You can write the answer in the chat. Just yes or no. Sure, somebody said. Intonation is important. Or maybe you can say, sure. See, even your intonation communicates something. Look at this. Watch this scene. Is the sound good? Can you hear the dialogue? You see, the guy didn't say, he didn't finish the sentence, but because of his intonation, the other man knew what he was going to, that he was going to ask a question. Intonation is very important. And now it's your turn, because you thought this was a webinar and you're going to sit down and do nothing. No, you're going to do a lot of things, okay? So you're going to say this sentence, oh my God, in a loud voice, many different times with many different intonations. How many different ways can you say? You're going to speak. If there are people around you, doesn't matter, make a lot of noise. Go. I can't hear you. Speak louder. Okay, watch this scene. This is a scene from the TV show Modern Family. See, 3 times the same sentence, but each time different, right? Now we're going to talk a little bit about feelings. How are you feeling today? You can write the answer in the chat. Happy, sad, tired. Somebody wrote here, Carlos, we can't hear it. No sound. You can't hear anything? Did you hear the guy saying, oh my God, or not? Right, type yes or no in the chat. No? What's going on? So, our feelings affect our posture. Our feelings affect our facial expression. Our feelings affect our voice, right? Repeat this sentence, everybody. I drank a cup of tea this morning. Everybody, read. I drank a cup of tea this morning. Go. I didn't hear you. A little louder. Okay, now stand up, everybody. Stand up wherever you are. Everybody, come on, you too. Stand up. Are you standing up? Okay, so say this sentence using the emotion given. Change your posture, facial expression, and tone of voice. It's always the same sentence, but we're going to change the feeling. So you change your posture, your voice, your face, etc. Okay? The same sentence. I drank a cup of tea this morning. Happy. Angry. Depressed. In love. With hate. Excited. Sick. Desperate. Tired. Okay, sit down. I'm gonna show you a scene. This scene doesn't have any sound. It's without the sound. Okay? This is on purpose. Watch the scene and tell me, how does this girl feel? How does she feel? Write in the chat. I'm gonna play it again. Bored, somebody said. Annoyed. Sad. What do you think she's saying in this sentence? What do you think she's saying? You can write in the chat. What is she saying now? Here it is. Oh, damn, I can't stand this anymore. I'm gonna play it again. Let's see if you can hear this. Nobody did the dishes. Yeah, you see? But her face and her gestures show that she's not happy. Let's see if you understand. Tell me if you can hear the sounds. No sound again? Oh my God. Hey, people from Disal, what's happening? We tested this before it was working. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you what she says. She says, every day I go to school dressed like a sick turkey. Every day I go to school dressed like a sick turkey. Oh my God. So now what we're gonna do, stand up, everybody. Stand up. Everybody, stand up. You're gonna say it with her. Since you can hear her voice, I'm gonna speak and you do it with me, okay? You're gonna copy her intonation, her facial expression, her gestures, and her tone of voice, okay? Somebody said, some people said that she was angry, upset, so we're gonna try to speak with her, okay? Are you ready? Every day I go to school dressed like a sick turkey. Notice that she did this with maybe she was putting the books down. Let's do it with her. Everybody together, go. Every day I go to school dressed like a sick turkey. Okay? Sit down again. Watch this other scene. There's no sound. How does the girl feel? There's no sound. How does she feel? Dreamy, excited. She feels amazed. Happy, excited. What do you think? What do you think she's saying? You can write the sentence in the chat. What do you think she's saying? What do you think she's saying? Kind of imagining things. What kind of things? One day I'll be a dentist. Yeah. Just love this whole webinar. Maybe we could go to the beach after this pandemic. Yes, I'm gonna show you. Since you can see the sound, I'm gonna show it. I'm gonna read the sentence, trying to copy her intonation. Okay. I'm the brightest girl in school for my age. I have a wonderful memory. I'm the brightest girl in school for my age. I have a wonderful memory. Now you're gonna try to do it like her. Okay. Try to imitate her facial expression, her gesture. Notice that she's holding something in her hand. So you do this with your hand. Okay. And we try to speak together. I'm the brightest girl in school for my age. I have a wonderful memory. Did you notice that when she says, I have a wonderful memory, she moves her eyes to the side? So you're going to do the same. Let's do it together. I'm the brightest girl in school for my age. I have a wonderful memory. Do you think the emotion changes the way you speak? What do you think? Hmm? Yes. Look at this not next sentence. No sound now. How does the girl feel? Dreamy. Deep in love. What else? Daydreaming. So how does she feel? She's daydreaming. She's excited. She's what? What do you think she's saying? What do you think she's saying here? What do you think she's saying? A school without what? Mommy, what? Mommy, what? I'm gonna learn what? I'm gonna learn inversions one day. I'm gonna learn even that's a good thing to dream about. Look at these 4 sentences. Which one do you think she's saying? What do you think she's saying? Which of these sentences? Love one. Love one? You mean, do you know what I love? Let's check. Since you can hear her voice, I'm going to have to dub, okay? It's my first time in life dubbing movies. Mama, do you know what I love most in the world? Do you? Did you get it? Mama, do you know what I love most in the world? Do you? I cut the last word on purpose. So she says, Mama, do you know what I love most in the world? Do you? What do you think is the last word that she's saying? The thing that she loves most in the world. You're gonna do it. You're gonna say it with her. Put your hand like in your chin, like she does, and copy her intonation, facial expression, and complete the sentence at the end. Okay? Saying what you think. Mama, do you know what I love most in the world? Do you? Philip said money. Vanya said chocolate. Tatiana said pancakes. Pies. My goodness, let's check. I'm going to have to dub because you can't hear the sound. Mama, do you know what I love most in the world? Do you? Money. That's right. I like somebody said apple pie. Now look at this sentence. This is a sentence from a book. Okay, I'm using examples from this. This is one of the books I use in my teaching, but you can do this with any book. And students are learning this lesson. You say, you know what I love, you know what I hate, you know what's amazing, and they have to select the right alternative. In number 1 through 6, you have 2 alternatives. I'll give you 1 minute to decide the correct alternative. You don't need to circle because you can't circle the screen of the computer. Okay, because you are teachers and I'm assuming you know the answers, I'm gonna show you the answers here. And when you do this, you give students in class some time to figure it out, and then you call somebody to read. Philip, read number 1, and then Philip goes, you know what interests me? We like to watch people's home videos. Why is that? They speak like robots, right? But now, because you know that it's important to speak like a real person, you're gonna read the 6 sentences in a loud voice, but showing what you're feeling. So when something interests you, you make a face showing that you're interested. Your voice shows that you're interested. When something scares you, make a scared face. Okay, let's do it together, everybody. 1, 2, 3, go. can't hear you, but I'm assuming you're doing it. Or are you just like my students, the ones who have classes online and they turn off the camera and they don't do anything? Okay, now it's the creative part of the lesson. You're going to complete with your ideas. You can write your answers on a piece of paper. Do you have a piece of paper next to you? You know what gets me? Webinars where the sound doesn't work. I don't know. You have 1 minute to write the answers. Your ideas. I'm gonna try to change something here. Just a minute to see if the sound's gonna work again. Just a second. Can you see the screen again? Can you see the screen? Yes? Okay. Tell me if the sound is working now. No sound. It's okay. So let's read now. You're going to read your sentences, the sentences that you wrote, like a real person. So you know what gets me? Say the sentence using intonation, facial expression. Show me that that thing really gets you. Everybody together in a loud voice. Go. The idea here, okay, I'm not gonna give you a lot of time because we have to move on. But in the class, of course, you give students more time. When you do an activity like this in a real class, you can ask one student to read the sentence at a time. You can ask students to read the sentences in pairs, and they try to use the intonation. You can also ask them to stand up and say all the sentences in a loud voice, everybody at the same time. It's a big mess, but it's fun, right? Using your emotions in class is not acting. It's just speaking like real people, right? Because what we want is to bring the book to real life. I'm going to give you some time at the end to ask me a lot of questions that I'm going to answer all your questions. Let's move on. You know that in a class, we have many different forms of interaction. Students work in pairs. They work in groups. If you're teaching in a face-to-face class, they can do work like this. If you're working online, you can still have students work in pairs or in groups. If you use Zoom, for example, you can use breakout rooms, and students can work in pairs, okay? And students can use puppets. Have you ever used puppets when teaching English? No? Yes? No? You can write your answers in the chat that I'm gonna read. Yes, yes, yes. You know, anything can be a puppet. If you don't, I have my real puppet here. I have puppets. Oops, just a second. I have puppets. But you can use, if I have these finger puppets, the ones you put in your fingers. And you can use them to talk. If you don't have a real puppet, you can use a marker and an eraser, and they can talk. Hello, my name is Eraser. Hi, I'm a marker. How are you? I don't know. You can get a stick and paste a picture and have a paper puppet. There are many different things you can do, right? And students can practice in pairs. If you're working, look at other. If you have Barbie dolls, if you have anything that you use to decorate your house, can become a puppet. A mouse can be a puppet. A mouse and a bottle. And they can talk like puppets. It's interesting. Students can use the puppets to talk to each other. So even if you are working in a class, in a face-to-face class, you can give students, each student a puppet. And instead of they're talking to each other, the puppets talk to the other puppets. It's amazing. Because if you ask students to talk to each other in pairs, they go like this. Hello, Juan, how are you? But if they got the puppet, they start saying, oh, hi, how are you? They start using their emotion and intonation automatically. It's amazing. So they can use the puppets to talk to each other, and they can use the puppets to work individually, like two puppets to one student with two puppets, and the student can do pair work with himself or herself. So you can have students, many different students, each one with two puppets, and they practice the conversation in pairs. And if you're teaching online, they can do this. If you are teaching one-to-one classes, they can get two puppets and they can talk to each other. It's a lot of fun. And when they use the puppets, they use their emotions and they use their feelings. And this is not only for kids. Adults love using this. Watch these students doing pair work with puppets. You can hear the sound, right? If you write to me later, I can send you the videos. You can watch. But when you see this and you listen to this, you see that when they speak with the puppets, they use a lot of intonation. Oh, hi! What did you do yesterday? I went to the movie. It's amazing because when they use the puppets, they are kind of protected because it's not them, but it's the puppet who is talking, right? Let's move on. Yay! So repetition. What do you think about repetition in the English class? Do you think it's important? Yes? No? It's boring? Repetition is very important, but repetition sometimes gets very mechanical, right? So it's not like repeating like you are in a church repeating, oh, yes, hello, hello. You have to use the intonation too. So imagine you have a text. This is a conversation in a jewelry store. Tell me if you can hear the sound or if it's just in the videos. Can you hear the sound? Yes or no? Okay, you can hear, but suppose you're doing this dialogue in a class, and then you divide the students into two groups. So one group is Sarah, one group is the clerk. Repeat group one, repeat group two. You can do the same thing and have each student hold a puppet. So I say repeat, so the puppets will repeat. Of course, the students will be speaking, but because they are using the puppets, they're gonna use a lot of in different intonations. Or you can give each student two puppets, and the students will do the two parts at the same time. One person is Sarah, one person is the clerk. So you don't have to do this group is Sarah, this group is the clerk, now change and repeat, because they do everything at the same time. If you're working with private students, online students, they can have a puppet and they have to repeat. When you are teaching one-to-one, usually the teacher does one part and the student does the other part. But here they can do both parts. So now we're gonna do this. Everybody get any object that you have near you, anything that you have, and they're gonna be the puppets. Can be a bottle of water, can be a mouse, can be your cell phone, your shoe, I don't know, okay? And you're gonna repeat the dialogue. One puppet is gonna be the clerk, and the other puppet is gonna be Sarah. Make a different voice for each one, okay? Are you ready? So because you can hear the sound, I'm gonna do it here. Because I have puppets, I'm gonna use my puppets. So everybody, repeat. Can I help you? Oh yes! I'm looking for a bracelet. All right. Is it a gift? Uh-huh. It's a birthday present for my sister. Okay. And how much do you want to spend? Well, let's see. About $30. Uh-huh. Well, we have these silver bracelets here. Oh, they're beautiful. How much is this? It's let's see, it's $55.95. Oh, that's a lot. Let me think. Well, it's perfect for me. Okay, I'll take it. Now, I need something for my sister. Okay, now that you repeat it, you're gonna get your two puppets and you're gonna practice the dialogue alone. One puppet is the clerk, one puppet is Sarah. If you have people near you, have them watch you because then you can put on a show for them. Go, 1, 2, 3, go. Oh. Okay, did you have enough time to do it? Yes? Yes? Okay, let's move on. This is an exercise. I'm using this exercise from Touchstone, but this is an exercise you can do using any book. And it's a conversation where students have to complete using this, that, these, and those, singular and plural, right? So here you have Tito, the guy who's buying the umbrellas, and the seller, the guy who's selling the umbrellas. Notice that he's holding an umbrella here, the one that's near him, and the seller has other umbrellas in the back. So I'll give you 1 minute to complete these sentences with this, that, these, and those. Go. Okay, let's assume you've already done it, and then the students are going to complete the answers. Okay, and then as you do in a class, you're gonna say, okay, Adriana, you are Tito. And Adriana will say, excuse me. And then you say, okay, Grace, you are the seller. Yes, and they speak like robots, and they say, how much are these umbrellas? Because they want the teacher to hear that they answered these. Now, practice the conversation with a partner. If you are working on Zoom, you can put students into breakout rooms. They can work in pairs. Or if you only have one student, you can have them work, practice with puppets. So now it's your turn. You're going to practice this conversation with two puppets. Yes, somebody said you can use a sock. Yes, you can use a sock as a puppet. Go. I know that you're not doing it, huh? Everybody has to do it. This is a class for you to practice conversation. Ready? Yeah. Look at this. Look at this little detail in the picture. What's this? Huh? What's the weather like? It's raining. Imagine you are walking in the street and it starts raining and you don't have an umbrella. Okay? Do you think Tito is buying the umbrella very calmly, like you did in your conversation? Excuse me, how much is it? But it's raining, for Christ's sake. If he needs to buy the umbrella fast. Okay, but otherwise it's gonna get wet. So we're gonna do this again, showing how Tito is feeling. He needs to buy the umbrella fast. Go. Oh my God. You know that when you want to buy an umbrella and the rain has already started, the price of the umbrella has changed. It's more expensive now. Okay, but you are in a hurry. You don't have time to say, oh my God, it's too expensive. You have to buy it because otherwise you're going to get wet, right? Somebody says, I feel like a student again. That's it. I'm trying to show you what you can, the way I do it with students, so you can do the same with your students, right? And your enthusiasm is important too, because if you are very enthusiastic, they're gonna be a little less enthusiastic, but that's how it works. So we're gonna learn parts of the body, everybody, yeah! So this is an exercise of, suppose you already had the lesson teaching the parts of the body. You did Simon Says, touch this, I don't know, etc. Okay, and then this is where they're gonna do the exercise. They have to do the crossword puzzle, and then they have to complete these sentences. Circle the correct words to complete the sentence. I'll give you 1 minute to think. You don't have to circle, but you can think about the right answer. Let's suppose you gave students enough time. I'm going a little faster with you because you're teachers, but with the students, of course, you give them more time. And then you say, okay, Luciana, read number 1. Luciana will say, I can't move. I hurt my back. She says back like this because she wants everybody to know that she did it right. Then you say, okay, number 2, Clarissa. It's hard to walk. I broke my I broke my leg. That's how students speak in class, like robots. But in real life, if you're feeling pain, you have to say this like you mean it. So if you hurt your back, how do you say I can't move? I hurt my back. Oh, I can't move. I hurt my back. Oh, it's hard to walk. Ouch. Okay, you can put some ouches in the middle of the sentence. Okay. I got a bruise on my face. It hurts to smile. So now you're gonna say the 10 sentences again, meaning the pain that you're feeling. Everybody, go in a loud voice to make the people around you think that you're not feeling very well. Go. Does it feel different from the first time? What do you think? Yes? No? It's not. This is not acting. This is real life. Okay? If I do this in a loud voice, my neighbors will think I'm crazy. Yeah, I know. This happens to me all the time. Okay? Everywhere I teach, I am the noisiest teacher in the place. And now I've been teaching at home for 5 years. Everybody's learning English at the same time because they hear everything. But this is real life, because why would somebody say a sentence like this? I can't move, I hurt my back. Just because it's in the English book. In real life, when we say this, we mean what we're trying to say. Or maybe you can do a scene. You are at the hospital. One person is a doctor, and you arrive there. Oh, I can't move. I hurt my back. No, make it more real. Okay. And now let's study the past continuous. Everybody, yeah! This is from a book that I love. It's an old book called Side by Side. It's a book of drills. And this book has nothing but drills. And I think drills are fantastic because they repeat the same structure many times. And it's very important because we students need repetition. So this is a sentence, an exercise where they have to use the past continuous and the simple past. So you have a box with the verbs on top: bite, burn, cook, etc., etc. And you have the sentences where you have to fill in the blanks with the past continuous and simple past. I'll give you just 1 minute to take a look at the verbs and think about it. If you were my real students, I would give you 5 minutes. You can buy this book at Disal. Disal sells side by side. Okay, let's suppose you've already done it. I know I'm not crazy. With real students, I give more time. Somebody says here, you would love to have the book, but you couldn't find it. At Disal, you can find it. And somebody says, even in PDF. Look, books in PDF are illegal. Don't get books in PDF. It's illegal. People who write books, they write the books not just because they want to help people learn English, but it's their job. They need to get the money. So PDF is illegal. Okay, I'm gonna give you the answers. Supposedly, students have already done it, and then you're gonna call students to read, and you're gonna say, okay, Andre, number 1. Andre will say, Jane tripped while she, well, you know, I always say the same thing, very mechanical. How can we make this more like real life? Because the students will say this and they will say the verbs correctly when they are reading. But when they finish and they close the book, they will forget the grammar. So stand up, everybody. Get any object that you have near you that is going to be a microphone. I happen to have a real microphone, but the microphone can be a mouse, a bottle, a pencil, or even your finger. So imagine you are holding a microphone and you are a TV reporter standing in front of the camera, and you're gonna say, hello, this is Carlos Gontow from Carlos News. Today we had a terrible day here in São Paulo. But instead of saying my name, you're gonna say your name. Hello, this is Kleber Santos from Kleber News. Today we had a terrible day here in São Miguel Paulista. I don't know, okay? And then you're gonna tell the news, okay? Hello, this is Jane. We had a terrible day. Jane tripped while she was walking down the stairs. Da-da-da-da. And at the end, you say, okay, now let's go back to the studio. William Bonner. Okay, are you ready? Stand up and start. Don't forget the introduction in the beginning. Go. Come on, everybody, do it. Okay, let's imagine we had time to do it. If you're working in a school, you can have all students stand up at the same time, each one with his or her microphone and talking to his or her camera, because this happens in real life. In real life, if there's something important happens, you see the reporter from TV Globo, from with all the reporters together, everybody talking, and it's fun. And you as a teacher, you have to listen to everybody. Of course, while the students are doing it, you check their pronunciation, grammar. At the end, you give them feedback. Sometimes when I ask my students, for example, to practice this at home. Do this again at home, get your cell phone, make a video, imagine you are the reporter, and then send the video to me, and then you can watch the video, you can check the grammar, you can give them feedback, ask them to do it again. There's so many things you can do. The thing is, this is not acting. This is really trying to make students speak like a real people speak in real life, right? And now we're gonna study some vocabulary, everybody. Yeah! This is a little bit. This is from a lesson from Viewpoint 2, which is a C1, C2 book. It's more advanced, but you can do this kind of activity with any exercise, any grammar structure. You can do this with you. We've done it with simple present. We've done it with past continuous. It doesn't matter the verb tense or the vocabulary. You can adapt to your students. So this is a lesson on gadgets, and then we have some vocabulary. When we get to this exercise, you have already taught the vocabulary. You've done just examples, so students already know. So this is where they're gonna check if they remember the vocabulary. So here we have the words in the box. Repeat, everybody. Compact. Come on, everybody, repeat in a loud voice. Compact. Better. Functional. Innovative. Yeah, when I say repeat, you don't have to type it. You can just speak, okay? You can say innovative or you can say innovative. The two pronunciations are possible. Integral. Everybody go. Integral. Obsolete. Portable. It's a good exercise to teach the pronunciation of the L. Functional, integral, portable. And now, students are going to fill in the blanks with the words. I'll give you 1 minute to try to figure out. Let's suppose you've already done it. Look, since we started a little late because of the technical problems, I'm going to go over a little bit more, okay? If you have to go, but you're going to miss the best part at the end. And then you go over the answers, and again, you say, okay, Ana Valéria, number 1. She's going to say, being aware of what people want. They're going to speak like robots. And this vocabulary is more advanced. So it's hard to, sometimes you understand the word, but you don't know how to use the word in real life. So now, imagine you are an angry boss shouting at the employees. Business is not doing well. You think it's their fault. So you have a meeting. This meeting could be online or face-to-face, and you are shouting at the employees. Being aware of what people want from their phones and devices is an integral part of your marketing strategy. It's central to what we do. And you think, you idiot, but you don't say this because it's politically incorrect. You're going to do the 6 sentences shouting. This is the time where your neighbors will think you're crazy, okay? But I don't care. Go. Angry boss. You could do it louder. Come on. Okay, did you have fun? Did you have fun? Some people say, oh, I love your workshop because it was a lot of fun. This is not about having fun. Of course, fun is good too, but it's about learning how to speak English in a more natural way. If you don't like to shout, you can ask students to say, okay, imagine the boss is very upset because the company is doing bad. So he's like, oh, you know, that it's an integral part. You can do this complaining. And if you say, okay, now do the same thing again with a different emotion, they're going to have a chance to repeat the sentence more times with different intonations and do a lot of repetition, which is very important. And now we're going to sing, everybody. Yeah! The problem is I don't have the sound, so I'm gonna sing for you, and you're gonna sing with me. If you know this song, sing it with me. If you don't know, sing anyway. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna hear it, but then I'm gonna sing together, and you sing with me. If you leave me now, you'll take away the biggest part of me. Ooh, no, baby, please don't go. A little louder, come on. And if you leave me now, you'll take away the very heart of me. Ooh, no, baby, please don't go. Ooh, no, I just want you to stay. Louder, come on. A love like ours is love, it's hard to find. How could we let it slip away? We've come too far to leave it all behind. How could we end it all this way? Normal people listen to this song and say, oh, this is so beautiful. I listen to this song and I say, oh, it's the first conditional. Because I'm crazy. I'm always thinking about this. So when I say, if you leave me now, you'll take away. If you go, I will. This is the first conditional, my goodness. So imagine this song is part of a conversation. So it's the man and the woman is leaving, and the man is saying, if you leave me now, you'll take away. So you're going to practice it using two objects as puppets. Get any two things that you have near you. One is going to be the boy, the other one is going to be the girl. There are 3 slides. So I'm going to play. You do the conversation, the boy with one voice, the girl with a different voice. And I'm going to change the slides 3 times. When this part, when the guy is saying, ooh, no, baby, please don't go, it's the crying part. So you have to go, ooh, no, baby, please don't go. But the woman wants to go. Are you ready? Let's do it with 2 puppets. It can be 2 puppets, but a pencil and a pen. It doesn't matter. Okay, go. Stop typing and do it. Last part. The last part, they kiss. Okay, be careful. Don't exaggerate. There are children around. Look, if you realize, if you notice, all the sentences that the man says are the words from the song. You can do this with any song. Okay, so I want to inspire you to create your own ideas. But you can also find lots of ideas in my book, The Classroom is a Stage, published by Disal. It's a book that has 40 plays, and this play, If You Leave Me Now, is one of the plays in the book. All the plays are classified according to the level of English and the recommended age. And there are some ideas for you to adapt the play to different students, to different levels and different number of students. Like one of the great features of this book is that the book is photocopyable. You can buy only one book and make copies for the whole city. I didn't write this book to be rich, just to be famous. It's working. But and you can buy the book on paper if you live in Brazil. If you live abroad, you can buy the book in a Kindle format. Now the book is available on Kindle. If you live in Brazil, you can buy it on Kindle too. But it's the classroom is a stage. Let's move on a little bit. We have just a little time left. By the way, tomorrow, Saturday, because somebody wrote here in the comments, I want to be your student. Thank you so much. Tomorrow at 2:30 p.m., I'm giving a workshop on using songs in the class. It's called Activities Using Songs in the Class. It's a 2-hour workshop, and this one is a real workshop where I'm going to see you, we're going to interact, we're going to talk to each other. It's not a free workshop, it's paid. The price is 150 reais. But if you register today, and if you write in the form, I attended your workshop at Disal, instead of 150, you can pay only 50 reais and take the workshop. Okay? Just decided to do this now. Okay? You can find follow me on Facebook. On Facebook, I have the link. Facebook, yeah. Find me on Facebook, or I'll give you my email at the end, and you can write to me, and I'll send you the link. Okay? So this is an activity on using the simple present and adverbs of frequency, and it's a very simple lesson that we have in any book when we teach the simple present, where students have to interview each other. What time do you usually get home? And they say before 6 o'clock. What it's what to use? Simple present, usually, always, sometimes, etc., etc. And what happens in a class? If you tell students, okay, interview their friend, they're gonna say, what time do you usually get home? And I say, come on! But in real life, we don't speak like this. So let's imagine one of you is a reporter for TV, so you can get your microphone again. You can get any object as a microphone. So if you are in a real classroom with real students, you can have like half the students are the reporters, and the other half are the people walking in the street. And the reporter calls the people, excuse me, I'm a reporter for CNN International. Can I ask you some questions? And then they ask the questions, and the other student answers the question. Then the ones who were the students, who were the people walking, become the reporter, and vice versa. If you're doing this on Zoom, if you have a class with many students, you put them in breakout rooms, one student can be the reporter. This is what's happening nowadays. People are doing interviews over Zoom. So one person can hold a microphone and go, excuse me, I'm a reporter, and ask the question. Or you can have 2 students and one is a puppet. I don't know. So let's imagine now you're doing only the reporter part, okay? And then after you ask the question, you point to the camera. Excuse me, I'm a reporter, but can I ask you some questions? What time do you usually get home? And then you wait for the other person to answer, okay? Start. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, we're not going to have time to do everything, but I just wanted to give you the idea, okay? You can do the same thing. This is another exercise where it's, again, a more advanced level, where you are teaching pronunciation and stress. So here's when you're teaching phrasal verbs, for example. Then you have, I turned around. When you say, I turned around, the stress is in around. But if you want to say, I turned my life around, so you have an object, the stress is in the object. So I realized that I needed to turn my life around. So this is a pronunciation exercise. And pronunciation is just like this. Repeat, everybody. Have you ever known anyone who was in a bad situation but was able to turn his life around? All right? Repeat again. The students repeat. And then they close the book and they forget everything. You can do the same thing as you usually do. Repeat, everybody. Play the recording, they repeat. And then you do the same thing. I'm a reporter for CNN International. Can I ask some questions? Then you have to ask the question, and the other person has to answer the questions. Because when you ask a question, usually people answer, right? Anyway, we are running out of time, so I'm going to say thank you. But we still have some time for you to ask me questions. and then I can answer your questions. And the questions that we don't have time to answer, you can write to me, and I'll answer to you. I'll answer you. So here, this is my website, www.carlosgontow.com.br. If you go to my website, on the first page, there is a link to register for my workshop tomorrow. Or you can write to me on my email, and I'll send you the link. The workshop is tomorrow from 2:30 to 4:30 Brazilian time, and it's 150 reais. But if you write in the last line, there's a line for comments. You write, I attended your workshop, your webinar at Disal. I'll give you. You can pay only 50 reais, but then you have to pay today because it's the last day for registration. Okay? Do you have any questions? I'm gonna stop sharing the screen. Did you take a picture of the screen? All my information. It's easy because there are some Gontows in the world, but Carlos Gontow, I think so far I'm the only one. So it's easy to find me. There we go. So if you have any questions, you can type in the chat. Anybody? Please. Thank you for the compliments, but ask me questions. Marilisa is here. She was my classmate when I studied engineering. Do you believe that I graduated in engineering 30-something years ago? The puppets, and you can get in puppet stores. Here in São Paulo, there is a store called Trenzinho Alegre, something like this. But you can get in toy stores. These puppets cost like, I don't know, they're cheap. So I have a collection of 20. So when I give workshops, when I teach in classes, I use my puppets. Or you can just use the puppets.